Welcome to the Popko Project Podcast, a platform for the discussion and discovery of arts and entertainment. We focus on highlighting people and events that add value to the world around us. Visit us on all social media platforms by searching the Popko Project or visit our website at thepopkoproject.com. Welcome to the show, and thank you so much for listening. This episode of the podcast is brought to you by Keller's Garden Center and Landscaping Services. Contact Keller's today and get your yard cleaned up before that dirty old man winter comes. I hate to say it, but he's on his way. The mornings are cold. They're frigid. I don't like it. I'm turning the steering wheel warmer on. I'm putting the seat warmers on. It's just miserable. But contact Keller's today. And if you're looking for snow removal services during the winter months, they can take care of that for you too. Do not break your back this winter and leave the heavy lifting to the professionals at Keller's. Family owned and operated. Their team is looking forward to serving you. Keller's Garden Center and Landscaping Services, located on Kern Street in Exeter near Blue Ribbon Dairy. Find them on social media to learn more. Gentlemen, what's up?
Popko. How we doing, sir?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
Good, you?
Good. How was your Christmas?
Nice and peaceful. Marcus, how about you?
It was all right. It was
just all right.
A little hectic. Yeah, it's always a little hectic.
So I have two kids, and one is almost 6 months old. And I thought, like, once you had kids, like, people would come to you, but no, it's still, Christmas morning comes, do the presents in the morning, pack everything up, travel to this person's house, that person's house. By the time you get home, it's 9 o'clock at night, and it's like, where the fuck did the day go?
Yep, exactly.
It's true.
But today is the 29th, so recording before the new year. This episode will be released. It'll be the first episode of 2023 for the Popko Project, and I'm joined by Marcus Welliver and Mike Elward.
Thanks for having us, Popko. Appreciate that.
I can't say you're of a band, right? Like, I mean, you're the Marcus. Is it just Marcus Welliver?
So we did that for recording purposes, just so it'd be a little easier to find my name, as if something were to happen where I would branch off into something else. Johnny Kogut actually mentioned it first. He's the bass player in our band. He said, maybe think about using your name. It's a little more easy to demographic wise that way to use your own name. I guess in that aspect.
Yeah. Well,
but it is the Wells River band outside of that.
Okay.
Yep.
Wells. So I'm familiar with that name, right?
Yeah.
But I wasn't familiar with Marcus as a singular person. And I had a mutual friend of ours, Kyle Demko. He's like, "Where do you hear Marcus? Where do you hear it? Where do you hear it? Where do you hear it?" I'm like, "Okay, cool, man. Like, I'll definitely check it out." I was listening to recommendations, but everyone's buddy and friend. Their music's fantastic, right? And I remember it finally got released. And I heard it, and I was like, holy shit. Kyle Demko did not lie to me. Kyle Demko did not lie to me.
Well, he would never do that.
He'll do a lot of things, but lying isn't.
No, I should have never doubted him. But, like I said, it was one of those things, like, buddies, bands coming out with a new song, like, you got to check it out. And then you dropped Barstool Side of Me, and I'm like, holy shit, this is this is great.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. So, I mean,
thank you.
I mean, where did that come from? I know you've released a couple songs since then. Probably a handful?
Yeah, 3. Now? We've had 3 out since then. Yep.
Yeah. So you have Barstool Side of Me, Head to My Heart, Uphill Both Ways, and Warning.
Yeah, that's correct.
And then I think you said you have another one coming out soon. But
should be soon. We planned on having Out My Window, it's called. That's the next single. We planned on releasing that on Halloween originally, and then we pushed it back. We want to do a little bit of promotion on it.
Sure.
I'm gonna have Corey from Locals Only. He's also does a lot of photography work, and have him think of something for cover art. So we're going to do something cool for that. So just a couple things we want to get in line before we let it out. It'll be in the near future here this spring, hopefully.
Very cool. Very cool. So talk a little bit about this music. I mean, like I said, you dropped that first song and I was like, holy shit. I mean, it sounds fantastic. And not only is it just a good song, it sounds great. I mean, you could put that on the radio today and wouldn't be surprised at all hearing that. So talk a little bit about the process and how you guys came together and all that fun stuff.
Mike, you want that one, Mike?
Sure. Yeah. So we had a mutual friend, and Marcus was playing in a trio. I was playing in another trio, and I had a Friday night off, and he was like, "Hey, you need to come out to." I think you guys were playing at Rob's Pub. It was Marcus.
It was.
Marcus, Tim Johnson, Mick Wilden. They were playing a trio, and I think originally I told our buddy Pooner. I told him, I was like, "Sorry, dude. I was like, it's my first day off in like 7 weeks." So I was like, "I'm just gonna stay home." But then he's like, "No." He's like, "You got to come out." So after a while, after they got done playing, we kind of got to talking, and I didn't realize that Marcus was 19 at the time. But yeah, so we kind of got together.
The bars didn't know either.
Statute of limitations has passed. But so anyway,
Isn't
so we
that
kind of got
7 years?
together.
Isn't that 7 years?
Yeah, I think that's about it. Yeah, we're past that.
Anything
Yeah,
goes
we're
at
good.
Rob's Pub, though, right?
Yeah. So
R.I.P. Rob's Pub.
R.I.P. Rob's Pub. But
Correct.
yeah, so then after that, we just kind of got together with playing. We were playing a duo, and then we got together with our buddy Shane from Tommy Gunn's band. We were playing a trio here and there, and then after that, Mitch, our drummer, came on board. He was just playing a box drum at Cajon, and I'll never forget it. The one day we were in one of Marcus's buddies' garages, and he was like, "Hey, I got this bass player from church." And we were like, I remember I looked at Marcus and I was like, if we're going to bring somebody out to a show tomorrow, like, really like for them to know the music that we're playing, and obviously, have him know what songs we're going into and what keys they're in and how they go. And so we were like, hey, just come out, just play with us. If we don't like it, we'll shut it down after the first set or whatnot. And Johnny's been in the band ever since. Johnny Kogut out of Benton. He plays bass, banjo, fiddle, everything.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Guitar, does harmonies. He's our hype man. If you're having a bad day, he's the first guy to pick you up. And Johnny is a respiratory therapist, and he's been going through some stuff the last couple of years with the whole COVID nonsense going on, and
Sure.
He's been on the front lines for that. So God bless him for that. And then originally we had Aaron McCurdy in the band out of Mountaintop. Played great guitar, did harmonies. Since then he's left the band. But then we had another player from Mitch's church band, which is Lee Heyman out of Benton. Unbelievable keyboard player. He's got a project of his own called Just All Right. Mitch, our drummer, is also an incredible guitar player, and nobody knows it, and they should. And then also we have Dirk Decker. Obviously played with Subnautics and a multitude of other bands in the area, and we're super thrilled to have him in the band. And it's been a good ride. We've been together since 2016, 2017.
Yeah, probably 2016, 2017 be right.
Yeah.
So together as a unit for that long?
With the core pieces.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Like, country's not like on my radar per se. It's not like my go-to. Not that I don't like it. I love this music you guys put out. It's just like, I don't know. It's just it's never been on my radar per se.
Yeah, I think everyone's got their niche or whatever they kind of listen to. But I think there's some music that kind of crosses all as a mutual tone.
Yeah.
I was telling, like the other day, I was saying, there's weddings we've done where they're like, oh, they've hired us. We don't really listen to that much country music. I'm like, well, so we played weddings where we'll do, and we've never had a practice. I think we've had one practice as a band in the 5 or 6 years we've been together. And most of the stuff we just do on the fly, or we'll know, hey, what key is it in? They're all just great musicians that can do that. And Mitch has been with me. I went to high school. I graduated with the drummer Mitch. So I can look at him and my eyebrow can move, and he knows what I'm saying to him. So we've done weddings where maybe they don't listen to that much country, and we'll play whole shows at Allman Brothers, CCR,
Black Crowes. Yeah,
it'll go. Yeah, if I know, as long as I know the lyrics, usually we could get by with it.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because you mentioned
cool.
all these players that I've that are in other bands that I've heard of and been familiar with. So it's kind of cool that like you guys all came together. Pros obviously, because you're talking about not practicing much, so that's wild.
Yeah,
absolutely. I think our buddy Dustin Douglas, he played with us the one day, and he was like, the thing I love about you guys is you guys are like the Grateful Dead of country music, where like the song's like 80% of the way there, and then you guys could just do whatever, you know. Where
I love Travis.
Yeah, unbelievable player. So, but he was like, he's like, you get foundations there, but you want to take a 5-6 minute solo, you can do it. You want to take a 2-bar solo, but the song's there.
Yeah, nothing we ever really do as a band is like to the record. nothing's. It's definitely not it's unorthodox for sure. It's not like you hear it, that's what I like about music though. I like it that way. Some people like to hear it perfect. I think Tommy Gunn's band always is a good example of someone down to the every note, is perfect. And that's awesome. But I always like just raw, and it's good to sound, and it's good and it's bad in a way maybe, but I always just, whatever happens, sometimes we'll play the same song the same way 100 times, and in one night something's a little different.
Yeah.
And we play it a little faster, we play it a little slower, and that's little things like that. I think that's what I like about music though.
Oh yeah, that's the fun part about live shows, right? Like, you can kind of do that shit on the fly.
Yeah.
Yep. I think too, it also helps us grow as musicians. You got to be on your toes during the show. You got to be, tentative. You got to be watching, so things don't get stale.
Yeah.
Especially with me, everyone is on their toes.
Everyone. It's I hate talking about COVID because I'm just fucking sick of it and I'm over it. But I mean, one thing that's worried me about musicians when that kind of hit was just the fact that you guys couldn't be out playing. Everyone I've talked to has been like, it was almost like a not a good thing in the sense of what it did to the world, but it was good in the sense that people like you and them, and they were able to kind of slow down, kind of focus internally, maybe write some new tunes, but they were no longer having to play every Friday, Saturday night. It just kind of had time to like breathe per se.
Absolutely. Speaking of COVID, super thankful for the t-shirt drive that you guys did.
Yeah, absolutely.
Partner with Axelrad. Thank you for that. That was awesome.
Yeah, that was you guys were one of the top selling shirts. And I know you guys told us to keep that, and we donated to something. I forget what it was. Shit, what was that? Yeah, I forget what it was off the top of my head. It was a couple years ago now, but thank you for kind of
absolutely
sending it back. But what I was worried about was playing shows. It's like an outlet. It's twofold. It's being able to play, be creative on the stage and things like that, but also like enables you guys to like test out different songs. And it's like a comedian where you guys can work different rooms and perform and see what works and see what doesn't. So it's like, man, these guys and girls are getting crushed. And that's why I did the whole t-shirt thing, was just because I always said that, whenever someone does a benefit, right? We always find out who can play the benefit for, whoever is, ill or whatever it might be, or, fortunately someone's house burned down. And we always look to musicians to, book them, draw a crowd, people come in, donate. And you guys do it every time without question, without hesitation. You guys are proud and happy to do it. But like, no one's ever like returned the favor, I guess you could say, not that you guys ever expected it, but it just, it was never done. So I felt like this was the first time that we kind of said, hey, like it's our time to help them. So I'm glad people responded well to that.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's cool.
So
yeah, definitely appreciate it. Thank you.
But yeah, so
I know Popko too. We definitely played a little more than most during COVID. There was a lot of places that let us do outdoor stuff or outdoor
Right.
covered stuff, or there'd be private events. There was a lot.
By reservation only.
right.
Kind of one of those things.
Guys are outlaws.
As long as it I don't like to get into the politics of anything, so I just
Oh, I hear you.
but I
agree.
know I was pretty, I guess it is, I said to Mike earlier, it already is out in the open. We played through pretty much the whole thing. But I never like to get into politics at all.
Yeah.
I think
You
that
can't.
I think that's better. I think it's better left unsaid. I think it's something that no matter what you say, you're gonna
Yeah.
cause somebody's gonna get upset with you. So if you,
Everyone's
as
Like I
long as
said,
you,
we were fortunate. I was going to say with the whole COVID thing. With like I said, when bars and were letting people back in, they were letting us basically do by reservation only kind of thing, where everybody was spaced out. And we'd post about it on Friday, and you could tell that people were starving to just get back out in the world.
Yeah.
Because we posted about it on Sunday, and by Monday morning, every table's booked in like a big restaurant. And so within the regulations of the time, we were fortunate that we were able to get out and play. No, not a lot of full band stuff, or we would do full band stuff outdoors where everybody was spaced apart. But we definitely were a little more, I guess, how to say, fortunate to be able to keep that revenue stream. And for us, in the band, we all work regular jobs, so we weren't crushed as much as some of these working musicians, where music is their life. That's all that they do.
Right.
So
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it was just interesting how people navigated the whole thing.
Responded to it. Yeah. I agree.
I never
Crazy
thought
time.
I never thought we'd live through something like that.
Crazy.
Yeah. But as far as like coming out of that, I mean, did some of these songs happen during that time frame, or how did these songs come together?
I guess some of them we wrote. Actually, the next song we're releasing, Out My Window, is one of the first songs me and Mike wrote together. Like 5 years ago, we wrote it.
yeah,
and we've been playing it out at live shows for years. It's a lot of people's, a lot of our friends and family's favorite song that we wrote. It's one of our favorite songs. If not, it is our favorite song.
absolutely.
So
it was cool when we wrote it, because I think Marcus had been laid off because of rain. He works on Highline poles for the power company, and he'd been laid off for rain for like 7 days or whatever it was. And so we sat down to write, and somebody said, and I think it was Marcus or myself, said, like, man, it's always raining out my window. And like, that's the title hook to the song, And the coolest part about it was we had the chorus, and Marcus is in the room that he's in now. And I went outside and I said, you write the first verse, I'll write the second verse. And 10 minutes went by. I walked back in the house. He goes, all right, I got this. And we just played the song through, and it was it. It was done. So
Amazing.
Mike's always, I think, almost, and we have a lot of, maybe 30 or 40 songs we've written together, or maybe a half dozen more or a dozen more that are half written.
Yeah.
But it's always, I usually do the first verse, and Mike always comes in with the second verse. It's religiously he has a second verse. It's a first verse, second verse, and then come together on a chorus and a bridge. But Mike's the only person I've really written anything with, or that you feel comfortable. I think writing music, you have to be comfortable with writing with whoever. It's just like anything else. If you're not, you have to be able to say, like, if I say I don't like that, like you have to be able to understand that and not take offense to that. Sure. In order to move forward. And I think that works in a lot of things. Like you can't, sometimes you have to come to an understanding of someone else's opinion in order to move forward with it. And me and Mike have that relationship down pat where we can say, nah,
don't do that.
Or like, don't do that. And you can use that and work forward with it. And some people you feel like you can't speak up against because they'll get upset with or pissed off. And
it's funny too, because there's even one of the songs that we were writing early on, and there's a line in that. There's a line in that song where,
or no, it's almost over you.
Yeah, almost over you. Where he says it. He says this line, and I look at him. I'm like, dude, no. And then like a week later, I text him and I go, yeah, that's the right line. It's got to be in the song.
He said, don't cheese out.
Yeah, don't cheese.
Don't cheese. Don't be a cheese ball.
And then the more and more like I heard that line in my head, I was like, you know what? I said that's the only way. That's got to be in the song.
Right. So. Now, are the songs that you write typically about real life situations, or like, how does that come together?
Usually I know what they're all about personally.
And Barstool side of me is the title track of his life.
Yeah. You want to elaborate on that at all or no?
They definitely have a little self-reflection, and it's weird how sometimes you know what the problem is and you still can't fix it, or whatever it is, whatever the aspect is. A lot of self-reflecting, and a lot of the stuff that me and Mike write isn't happy at all.
Sad songs make me happy.
Well, it's funny. I just released today an episode with a musician, he goes by Telco, and we were talking about how, like, writing songs when you're in a good headspace versus when you're in a bad headspace, and it's like I have no musical talent in me whatsoever, but I feel like if I were to try and write a song, I'd have to be like sad or depressed, or like it wouldn't be happy. And I don't know how people typically write music when they're happy. But
yeah, I don't know. I don't know either.
We always kind of say too, like, we're genuinely two of the happiest people you'll ever meet. Yeah. But like those old, like, sad country songs that like mean something to people, like that's something that like I've always gravitated to. It could be anything. You can hear somebody say something and you're like, oh, I got to put that in the song. Yeah. So it can come from anywhere. It could be personal experience. It could be something that you've lived, something that your buddies lived, anything that you've kind of been around. But in order to sing it, you got to believe it. So some of the most convincing people, some of the most convincing songwriters, you could tell that they've lived some stuff in their life. Yeah. So
I always like to know what the songs are about. A lot of musicians won't tell you because they want it to be relatable to, a variety of people, whether that, I might hear something differently than, my friend does. And it might mean a different thing to me than it would to him or her. Which I think
it's best that way.
I know. And I hate asking the question because I don't want you to tell me if you don't want to, but I also, like, if you want to tell me, like, I like to hear about those things. Just because I think it's interesting where it came from.
There's even lyrics where I've heard the wrong way just because I didn't read them, but that's what I heard. And I'm thinking it's a totally other thing, but it still might make sense, completely make sense. But the word I heard isn't what's said. And then when you hear what's actually said, oh,
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, just the other day it was I forget what song it was, but I'm like, why are they saying left foot down on a pedal? And then someone's like, it's lead foot. Oh, I'm like, oh,
Right.
I mean, that's something that's very obvious, but just for an example.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure it out or figure out that lyric, and you can't, or you pin it on something else, and then you realize until you read the lyrics, oh, okay, I get what they're saying now.
I have a very vivid memory of an instance where that happened with me. It was back in 2003. One of my favorite artists is a guy by the name of Pete Yorn. And I thought he heard, or I thought he said, fall in love with me. I'll show you things you've never seen. And the actual lyric, and I didn't find out till years later that it was like, is something wrong with me? Not fall in love with me. It's something wrong with me. Like, wow, that's like fucking completely different.
Changes the song. Changes the song completely.
Yeah, and in the time of my life, I was like, I was talking to this girl, and she was the one. Like,
that's what worked for you.
Right, exactly.
That's what you wanted to hear. Yeah,
that's exactly what it was. Like, I heard that song, and I was, I wanted her to fall in love with me.
Yeah.
That's not the girl I married. But for the better.
Unanswered prayers.
Yeah, it's just funny. I mean, music. That's why. I mean, I've been drawn to music for my entire life. I remember, some of the first music I ever listened to was actually country, and it was actually on back in the day, probably the mid '80s. Back when cigarettes could advertise anywhere and everywhere.
Yeah, the Marlboro Man, or you get Marlboro points.
Yeah, well, Marlboro released like a cassette with like different musicians on it, and I found that in my parents' house. And like, it's funny because like my mom didn't smoke at the time, my dad did, but they didn't smoke Marlboro. So I don't know where it came from, but yeah, one of the first things I ever listened to was country. But I was just saying, like, music has been such a big part of my life for so many years, and since I could remember. And it's just funny how it means different things to different people. And it's universal ultimately, right?
Yeah.
It's just, it could pick you up when you're down. It could pull you down further than when you already are. There's been days where, I've been driving in a car and, I'm not in a good headspace, and I hear a song that just, it kind of pulls you further down, but it's such a powerful medium.
Memories, you hear that song, and it's like you're like, oh, I was in high school when this came out, and then there's like all those times that you heard that song that's stuck in your head. It just comes out of nowhere,
Yeah.
So
I always attached music and songs to certain parts of my life, and I think it was because like, when I was in high school and college, and when you're different groups of friends, and maybe you're seeing different girls, like you can attach songs to those moments. And they're always changing, so you apply the songs to new experiences. I've been with my wife now for 15 years. Granted, it's not
awesome.
Not every day is the same, right? But like, I feel like I've lost that. How do I say it without sounding like an asshole? I don't know.
Well, you lost that love and feeling?
No, I haven't lost the love and feeling. No, but there are definitely certain songs that like I attach to certain moments, but it's not as many, I guess you could say. Maybe I'm just not listening to music as much as I did in those days of my life either, just because just being busy and all that kind of shit. But
it's a great time to dive into country. You need something new. That's what it is.
Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. Well, now I'm waiting for this next song from you guys.
Yeah, you're getting complacent. That's all, Popko.
Yeah,
I mean, I have always liked the band. The band has always been my favorite. I don't think it matters what genre you like. If you don't like the band, then I don't think you like music. That's how I love it. There's so many. They touch on blues, country, rock, whatever you could. They touch it all, and lyrically great. Levon Helm, I love the band. Some awesome music. The Last Waltz. Have you ever seen that, Popko?
No.
That's a good one to check out.
Okay.
Gotta watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah, The Last Waltz is such a cool documentary.
I'm also thinking that a lot of the bands that I really loved, in those time frames, late 90s, early 2000s, and when I'm in high school, college, they were also so great. Like I'm thinking now like of Incubus and some of their first 3 or 4 records. They were amazing. And then like even like the newest stuff they put out within the last 2, 3, 4 years, it just didn't hit like it did back then. So maybe it's not the moment.
Do you think they changed? Do you think the band maybe changed their style?
I'm sure they have to a degree, right? I mean,
or do you think it's you that can't relate
it's
to
both.
it?
It's probably both, right? You're just different times of your life.
I also think too, like there's like certain songs that you just can't go back and hear again for the first time. No matter how much they try to replicate it with a new album,
Yeah.
Like even with a modern artist, like a modern country artist like Luke Combs, like his first 2 albums are some of my favorites that I'll ever listen to. And his new stuff is good, but it's not the same as those first 2 albums to me.
Right.
I think I guess it's that way with every artist too. I'm that way with Eric Church. I guess any artist you think of. I always think the first 1 or 2 albums of an artist or a band are always your favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's because it's something about being the first time hearing it or being new.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
and then
going back to, I attach things to life experiences. Like I'll never have another first kiss with my wife. I'm not saying like our marriage or our life together has become boring by any means, but like, our first trip to the beach will never happen again. Our first kiss will never happen again. Like those firsts that you have that you kind of put on a pedestal and maybe associate certain times of your life and music, all that kind of shit, you can't get back again.
Yeah, like chasing the high pretty much at first.
So
yeah.
I don't know how we got on this, but yeah, I mean, music is powerful.
Very.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I'm very jealous of people who have the ability to play. It's funny. My mom wanted me to play the banjo, or at least take banjo lessons when I was younger.
Not even a guitar, straight to the band.
Right. So I'm in sports, right? Like I'm playing baseball, I'm playing basketball, and to this day I bust on her. I'm like, because I wish, looking back on it, if I could go back in time, I would say yes, I'll play banjo, whatever the hell you want me to do. But like, you couldn't tell me like, John, your father and I, we're not very tall. You're lucky if you make it to 5'10", 5'11". You're white. You're not going to be the next Michael Jordan. Like, let's be realistic. Let's play the guitar. It's something you can take for the rest of your life.
Steve Nash, though, Popko. Steve Nash.
Well, yeah, the same with Muggsy Bogues, right? Like, there's freaks out there. I'm not one of them. But I could have taken like the application of banjo and applied it to guitar and other instruments for the rest of my life. I'm too old now. Everyone's like, it's never too late. I don't want to hear it. It's too late. It's fucking way too late, dude. Like I'm 40. I'm 40 years old. I'm 40 years old, right? I've got 2 children, a wife, a full-time job. I do this, which I love, and I'm able to attach myself to music in this aspect. I don't have time to pick up a guitar and try and do that.
Can you sing, Popko?
No. I mean, when I'm drinking, I've been known to do, I don't know if it's been done well, but Possum Kingdom by the Toadies.
Oh,
okay.
I've been on stages with bands around NEPA. I used to do it with a band called Lesson One. They're probably a little older than you guys, but yeah, I've done it. I don't know if it's been done well. I mean, people seem to be pumped after I get off stage, but again, I'm drinking, they're drinking. It's the high of the moment, I
always say too, it doesn't matter if anybody's good or not. If you have the balls to get up in front of people and sing, like that's one of like you got to have some serious huevos to be able to like get up and do that.
It's the power of the beer, the alcohol. That's what there's been moments where I've been like to shows and like my friends were like, oh, you're gonna do Toadies tonight, right? And I'm like, well, not right now. I need a few more of some liquid courage here.
We'll learn it with the band.
Yeah,
we'll learn it with the band for you.
All right, Toadies, Possum Kingdom. Okay. I I did it at my brother's bachelor party back in 2017, and my cousin recorded it and played it back the next day, and I'm like, ooh, that's real bad. That's real bad. But the guy's karaoke machine sucked. Like the lyrics were missing. Like, I'm gonna blame it on him for being out of tune.
Hey, listen, musicians are always their biggest critics. So maybe you are a musician, Popko.
Maybe I am. I've always thought about trying to record it. Like, obviously having multiple takes and all that kind of shit. But I've always thought about doing it just because, like, I don't know what it's been about that song, but it's the only song I've ever done. I thought about doing it, but I don't know.
Yeah. We got to, like I said, we'll learn it with the band for you.
Okay.
Where would be the best place to come up and play with the band by you, where you can come catch us?
Well, we got to make it plenty of advance notice. Again, I don't get out much, the kids and all that kind of stuff. I'll travel.
Oh yeah.
We got to be in front of a crowd that's also hammered, so they can.
That's a country show.
That's what I'm thinking. Like Pisano Family Wines, you're out there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we can do that.
I don't know if that crowd gets wild or not, but I feel like that's in the woods. It's a nice place, country.
Yep.
What else is out there?
We'll have to have you. We've had some festivals at my buddy's house. Some awesome festivals.
Where's that?
Last year, it's in Hull Creek. It's down the road from Pisano's.
That's where I'm from. That's where I grew up.
In Hull Creek?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm a fellow creeker.
I'm a country boy. Hard.
That's why you were playing and you still didn't play the banjo.
Nope.
That's where we're up by Sirax Greenhouse. It's actually behind Sirax.
Okay.
My buddy Justin, he built a stage down there and everything for him. It's a big ass stage. It's funny. My band played down there, and my buddy Justin said to Mitch, he's like, "Hey, what can we do to make it better next time?" He's like, "A stage would be nice." And next week he had a stage up. We had a stage up, fully covered stage. I'll send you some pictures of it. It's awesome. But last year we did Springfest, and we had Dustin Douglas, 20-pound head, Mellifluous, Frankie Marcinkowski's with Mellifluous. He's awesome. Kyle Demko played, Shane Fabiani, Lance Thomas, man. And then we played at the end of the night. It was awesome.
Yep.
Awesome.
One thing I love about the country folk is what can we do to make this better? Stage. Boom.
Yeah.
Built.
Literally next day. Or next week, you're just like.
My mom still lives out there. My brother still live out there.
Right on. So you got a place to stay. You can
absolutely.
You can get pickled up, drink some Busch Lights even.
Get weird. Yeah. I got Bud Lights on deck here. I'm ready.
I got the Busch Light. I might be the first one on the Popko podcast. The Popko Project to drink Busch Light.
It's funny. Like, dude, you're like the fifth person who's called the Popko podcast, and I'm like, did I fuck this up? Did I? Did I fuck?
It has a nice ring to it.
I know, and I thought, like, I did think about that, but I'm like, I don't know. I wanted it to be like, bigger. Like, I wanted it to be efforts like the
project,
the shirts thing, and then I did the thing with the beer, and I don't know if you guys saw that or not, but like I wanted it to be like this thing, like this umbrella almost, and like this thing that kind of has like these things under it. The podcast being one of those.
That's a cool. Yeah.
So that's why I went away from the Popko podcast, but
it has a nice ring to it, though. I think that's.
I know.
I said that without even.
I know.
Right. It just rolled off the tongue.
You just string it out. Just the Popko Project Podcast.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's just this wing of the Popko Project.
Right.
There you go.
Right. Yeah. I have a guy at work who calls. He goes, "Hey, it's Johnny Popcast."
Oh man.
But what are some of your favorite local places to play at, whether local or even beyond?
So I think our favorite place has always been, or one of, is Morgan Hills, the golf course out here.
Hell yeah.
It's just because it's such a local crowd.
It's rowdy. It's the only game. It was the only game in town. You know, it was a good time.
It's the only.
Yeah,
It's the only. But
I used to date a girl who like lived back in high school. That used to live down the road from Morgan Hill.
That's a cool spot.
Yeah,
we won't get into name dropping.
We won't name names. No names. Names allowed.
But Bruise Brothers is always awesome. Me and Mike have been doing Friday nights there for a long time.
I'm not far from there.
Before the band. So we've been doing Friday nights there a while. Hogs Hollow, obviously Pisano's, RC's, Stone Creek. We used to do up in, where is that? Up past Scranton.
Thirsties.
We used to do Thirsties quite a bit.
Yeah.
That's actually it's reopened.
It's like Hot Shots or Quick Shots or something.
Hot Shot. I think you're right with Hot Shots. Yeah.
It's like a pool bar now, I think.
Yeah, I saw pictures of that, and I saw 2 pool tables, and I can't figure out where they put that second one.
I don't know either.
But I think it's hot. Is it Hot Shots bar?
I think it's.
I don't know. I'm trying to find it now.
Somebody just texted me the name of it today. Actually, hold on 1 second.
Shots something.
Yeah, I'm going to be back in a second, Mike.
Okay.
Cheap Shots.
Cheap Shots. That's it. Yeah.
Shots.
Literally just pulled up the text where they said it.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't figure out. That was a cool spot.
Absolutely.
I worked with Tom Tell in my years at the Weekender and radio. Was sad to see him kind of have to
step away.
Yeah. I hope he's doing okay. I know he's had some health issues.
Yeah, I think he's. I think I saw him post about a couple months ago where he's kind of back to. I think he's kind of back to not normal, but he's back to out and about kind of thing. Because I think he was homebound for a little bit, but
yeah.
So I'm glad to see that he's back doing great because he was always a big proponent of live music.
He was, yeah.
There's 7 days a week. He'd have music there if he could.
Yeah. What about the V Spot? Do you guys hit there at all?
We I think Marcus has played the V Spot. I think he opened for Tommy Gunn's band there a couple times.
Okay.
But we have not done full band there. We do got to get in there because Vinny has an awesome thing going on there.
I'm going to text Vinny tonight and be like, yo, actually, you know what? when Marcus gets back, I'm going to take a picture of the screen. I'm like, yo, get these guys in the fucking bar.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Vinny's awesome. He's just one of my favorite people that I've met over the years.
Definitely. Yeah, I feel like he meets me for the first time every time.
It might be the first time to him.
Yeah. We super appreciative that he does like the Steamtown Music Awards up there.
Yeah.
Puts on a great show and opens his doors for everybody.
Have we crossed paths and just not ever like spoken before?
We have.
That's
Yep.
I don't know. I'm sorry.
We did. No, you're good. Usually when I see you, you're talking to somebody. So
right.
I mean, a lot of people in the area. So
and the thing is, I don't get out that often. So it's like those nights are great. I love those nights, especially the Steamtown Awards. Just everyone's in the same room together. But I wish you had more time.
All walks of life,
Yeah.
You got rap, you got country, rock, blues, Americana, everything you think of, they're all in the same room and they're all there for a common goal, which is the coolest thing on the planet.
Yeah. Shout out Joe Caveston for putting it together. It was a great weekend in the Scranton area.
Yeah.
It was a little different this past year because he had it like the V Spot for the awards. And then he kind of had, still the bars around Scranton, but also like the circle driving. Yeah. Which was neat.
Absolutely. Yeah. And Kester and all them put on a great production up there.
Yeah. I don't know if you got up there for some of the shows at night. They were
I saw some videos, but man, some of those video boards that he's putting together for, behind the bands, I'm like, this is a mountain production all on, at the drive-in,
It really, it's cool to see.
One of the going back to the COVID shows, thinking about Circle Driving up there, when they did the concert movies,
Right.
when they had Garth Brooks, and I think the other one was I want to say it was like Blake Shelton in Alabama. But what was really cool about that was Chris Schreiber from Flatland Ruckus. Look who we got.
Who's that? Hey, how do you do that?
Yeah. So
you guys in the same house? What?
We are. We're in different rooms.
What?
Still got the echo.
No way.
But yeah, Chris Schreiber from Flatland Ruckus put together openers, local openers, to just go play acoustic, and Kester brought the sound system, and basically we were able to play originals, covers, and kind of get people excited about what was about to happen, for the concert. So technically we opened for Garth Brooks.
I was going to say, can you put that on your resume? Can you?
I still have the laminate. I have the laminate.
I mean, you're not lying.
Not at all. Yeah. So I think that
I've definitely said it. I've said we opened up for Garth Brooks.
I mean, you're not lying, but
absolutely. Yeah.
That's they ask questions of details. I don't.
Yeah. I mean, if they were to ask,
right,
further,
if they need to elaborate, then I will. But if they don't, then I'm fine with that.
And I mean, you could put it on the internet. Put it on your
gray area. Yeah.
Everyone's famous on the internet,
Absolutely. And in a small town, everybody's famous.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
I wish that wasn't a lyric that wasn't already
written. Marcus, I feel like I saw somewhere. I think we were commenting back and forth on it was Facebook or Instagram, but I feel like there's rumor you were heading to Nashville.
Yeah, that's a controversial topic right now.
Oh boy, did I open up a can of worms here?
No, it's just logistically. There's just a lot of things to tie down and get squared away. A lot of people were saying, a lot of musician friends of mine saying Nashville. There's a guy I met down in Fort Worth, Texas. I just got back from there. I played a weekend show down there. There are two of them. I ran into a guy who opens up for Casey Donahue and a couple other Texas country bands. Jeremy Studdard, his name was, and he called me. And he said, dude, lived in Nashville for 3 years, man. You're just going to spin your wheels down there. That's just a party town. He said, there's one door and 300 people in some place you're going to play at. He said, think about how many people are going to come in and out of that door that night. He said, not many. When they get in there, they stay in there. He said, come down if you're in the Fort Worth, Dallas area, Texas. He's like, you'll have 150 people, half as many people, but you'll have how many people? 600 people coming and going throughout the night, coming for a little bit, and they have room to move, and they'll go to the next one. And he's like, the more exposure, the better. And there's a lot of, and to be honest with you, Popko, I hated Nashville when I went down there.
Mm-hmm.
And even to record, we went downtown, and maybe not Nashville as a whole, but I don't like Broadway at all.
Okay.
I don't like anything about it.
That's fair.
Just for music, for me, I like to sit down and listen to music. I don't like just treat it as like a part. Like some people they're not listening to music. They're just going there because they know other people are there.
Right.
And it's just a big party, and there's people falling down at noon,
Right.
That's cool and all, but that's not where I want to.
That's really good advice. I never really thought about that before. You always hear Nashville is the place to go if you want to be, found or whatever it might say. But yeah, I mean, like if the same 300 people are going to be in the room all night versus having a revolving 150, yeah, I mean that's better.
Right.
That's interesting.
I think too, like the old adage of having to go to Nashville to be found. There's definitely a lot of examples of modern country musicians who have been found through growing their fan base through regionally and then promoting their music. Like for instance, guys like Riley Green, who didn't live in Nashville, lived in Alabama, but played in Alabama, played in Georgia, Mississippi. Then played in Tennessee a little bit, and Luke Combs was found on, I think he was on Vine when everybody found him first,
Yeah, I remember that.
And so I think in the modern media age, there's a lot of ability to spread your music that way as well.
Yeah, what is the kind of the goal for this music? I mean, are you guys just creating it for yourselves, and you're gonna record music and put it out, and kind of just if it goes somewhere, great? Or do you have some kind of like
definitely? I don't think there's an exact plan or an exact route, but I definitely think the goal would be as far as you can possibly think to take it. Be the goal.
Sure.
Hear it on the radio, play it on the radio, or have someone sing a song that me and Mike wrote together on a radio. I think if you shoot for anything less, then you never get to that point. You have to definitely strive for whatever you could possibly full potential. But I also think you have to put yourself in a position, the best position possible to do that. I don't think, and that's why the thought of moving is in my head. I want to be in the best possible position. I don't want to say, well, I didn't do this, right? I could have did that, or could have done this, could have done that. Put yourself in the best possible position to meet people or do something. And then you don't have an excuse looking back, because I don't like regretting not doing anything.
Right. Now, as far as the band is concerned, is that something that you would kind of go out and do and kind of be the face of the band and until that, came to fruition? Or
it hasn't really been a conversation yet that we've had. It's kind of been.
So the cool thing about the band is we do have 2 lead singers. So, what's nice is like, I like letting Marcus sing 99% of the songs throughout the course of the night. And he always begs me to sing more, but I told him no. But what is nice is like, should Marcus, go out on the road or move to Texas, move to Nashville, whatever it is, we do have the foundation to keep the band going.
Sure. And obviously you can record and send files back and forth. It's not 1980 now. It's
it's
that's
nice.
An option, right?
Like, yeah, for instance, like, Warning, one of the tracks off the album, we had I think it was like a 8 or 9 o'clock show at Morgan Hills. It's like noon. He sends me a voice memo on my cell phone. I think I was playing like Call of Duty, and in between like rounds, I like look down, put the mic on mute, and pop open the the voice memo, and I listen to it, and I'm like, I get back on the mic. I'm like, guys, I got to go, and literally shut the Xbox off. I text him. I was like, I'm on my way down.
Be there in 30 minutes. He said.
Yeah, and then that's the beauty of anytime you get an idea, whether it's a full song that you have written, or whether it's just an idea, all it is, you can just send a voice memo just like that, just right through the airwaves.
Right.
So.
Yeah, it's sweet. Technology is, I always say, a blessing and a curse.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yep. Absolutely.
I think it's more. I think it pushes more towards the curse side than the blessing.
It might. I mean, I'm terrified of raising children.
Yeah, I feel the same way, Popko. I am. I'm the same way. I don't have any yet, but I do plan.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know. I think about it. Like, my son's too young. He's not even in kindergarten yet. I'll be in there next year. But like, I mean, I have it easy right now. Like, my daughter can't even walk, so you just put her somewhere and she doesn't move. Like, she's there. My son's not exposed to anything outside of daycare. Like,
yeah,
it's easy now. Right now is an easy time. Like, I can't imagine when he's in school and like
yeah. And then he gets influenced by his other friends that have an iPod or an iPhone. They don't have iPods anymore.
It is an iPhone. Same thing.
Yeah, same thing.
But I don't know, Mike. If I have a son, he's not getting any type of technology until he breaks an arm.
That's what you say. That's what you say right now, dude. I mean, listen. I mean, we're in the situation. I'm gonna rant a little bit right now, and I apologize, but like we're in the situation we're in because of ourselves. All right. I remember it was 2017. He was born in December 2017. It was like the first week of October 2017. I'm driving down the street and I'm seeing these banners for trunk or treats this weekend and that weekend. I'm like, these fucking kids are trick or treating for 4 weeks before fucking Halloween. I said, my kid's never fucking doing that. He's not fucking doing it. He's not doing it. And then I kept driving. I'm like, who am I kidding? Of course he's gonna do it. Like, what am I gonna say? Hey, when
you're a hard ass.
You can't. Like, all your friends are doing that. No, you can't though. Okay, because I'm not gonna let you. Like what? Like,
I get it. It's hard. Yeah.
And then fucking sports. I mean, I've had this discussion. I don't know how many times when I played sports. You know, the coach brought a big black bag, dumped it out. There was like 5 helmets that everyone fucking shared. There was 5 bats that everyone shared. There may have been like one kid on the team whose parents bought him a baseball bat because he was an only child and they had extra money. But we shared bats, we shared helmets. Now, it's every kid has their own fucking bat. Every kid has their own fucking helmet.
They all go to private training.
The old damn Rainey.
It's insane.
Yeah, I mean, it's wild with sports, like you said, like nowadays, like these kids, if you don't go to a private facility, you're not going anywhere.
Right.
Like what was wild, like growing up with baseball, like, so I was in high school, I graduated in 2008. And in high school, there was one premier team. You had Legion Ball, but there was one premier team in the area. It was like Music Mets, right? That was the only travel team in the area. And now you have all these kids that instead of finishing out Little League season are going and playing with, and don't get me wrong, it's great for the kids now. Like, it's cool, but it's such a wild difference between when we were growing up, when it was just your season was your high school season. And then if you were lucky enough to play Legion Ball,
right,
that's it.
Yep.
So, and a lot of these kids hyper focus on one sport now too. There's, a lot of these kids aren't playing football.
You almost have to excel.
Yeah.
You can't be well, you can. You have to be at a freak. But I think some sports kind of help with another. But to excel in a certain sport, you have to be devoted year round to that. To that one.
Like, so my best friend Ray Black, he played for the San Francisco Giants and the Milwaukee Brewers, right? He took a poll. I remember, I think he was in AA or AAA, and he asked everybody in the locker room. He was like, "Who all played? Anybody play Legion Ball?" And on a team of like 30 guys, one guy played Legion Ball. Everybody else played private travel.
Huh.
So,
I feel like we need to let kids be kids, right? Like, they're doing all these sports and it's like intense, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like, we're not creating more LeBron Jameses by having these kids do all this private lessons and all this other shit. Like,
I feel like it also burns them out a little bit too. Like, you do have the kids that truly love baseball or football or baseball or whatever it is, or basketball. Sorry. But how many of these kids are going to lessons just because their parents want to take them to lessons? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, the kid might not want to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It starts to repulse you when you almost feel like you're getting forced to do something.
Yeah. My kid does.
Gotta let them do what they're.
Yeah. We decided we're going to introduce our son to everything, and he can decide what he wants to do or what he kind of likes. Does t-ball, soccer, basketball. Trying to get him to do karate.
That's cool.
He has no interest. I don't know if he just doesn't understand it. I might just have to take him and here's what you're doing. If you hate it, I'll make it. I won't make it keep doing it. But
yeah, that's a good move, Popko. That's how my dad was. He said, I have an older brother, a younger brother, and a younger sister. And he said to all of us, I don't care what you do or what you want to do, and I will be behind you 100%, but you have to be 100% for whatever you're doing. If you're going to wrestle or play football or play baseball, you're going to every practice.
Finish the season.
Yep.
If you want to, my dad always told me, he said, if you want to walk away, he goes, you walk away at the end of the season. He goes, because if you quit now, you'll quit everything in your life.
Yep.
So, it applies to all aspects of life too, though.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I'm glad that my mom forced me to do is take piano for 10 years. I hated her for it, but boy, learning guitar was so much easier.
Yeah, I bet. I said to my mom, I'm like, you made me shower when I didn't want to shower. You made me go to bed when I didn't want to go to bed. You couldn't have made me play the fucking banjo.
I'd love to hear Popko playing some banjo.
We'll have Kogut, our bass player, give you some lessons.
The closest I got, I was at a basement party when I was in college in Scranton somewhere. I couldn't even tell you how we got there. I worked all day. I didn't eat lunch, and I got in the car with the band. For whatever reason, we couldn't stop and get food on the way because they were running late. Got to the party. I'm fucking starving. I think I had a payday the entire day. After the entire day.
Like the chocolate bar.
It's like a peanut and
Yeah.
That's all I had all day, and I think I had 2 drinks, and I was like falling in the yard. So I either just got hammered quick because I didn't eat, or I got fucking drugged by accident.
That payday bar.
Or on purpose. You might have been drugged on purpose.
Maybe, yeah. So they're playing in the basement, right? And I remember this is the band I used to sing Toadies with. So I got the guitar and they unplugged it. But no one else knows that they unplugged it. And I'm just fucking pretending to play the fucking guitar. And everyone's like, fuck yeah, this is amazing. And I'm like, fuck yeah, this is amazing. Fell over, knocked the fucking amp over, broke the fucking inside of that. Had to pay for it.
No.
Yeah, it was fucking bad.
Love that.
It was awesome in the moment, man. It was a rock star moment.
It's a rush, isn't it?
It was fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. After that, it was black. I don't know.
Love that.
That's good. I'm glad you have the memory though of at least being on stage.
It wasn't a stage. It was a basement, dude. It was
basement bar or basement party. Yeah.
Basement party. It was ground level, man. It was fucking awesome.
Below ground.
Yeah.
Below ground level.
Well, I don't want to keep you guys too long. It's Thursday night. I'm sure you guys have better things to do than talk to me about rocking out in the basement, getting blackout drunk. But
that's up our alley.
But it's we're wrapping up 2022. What happened this year outside of obviously the release of this music? Like looking back on 2022, what were some highlights that you guys had?
Sure.
Well, I think starting in the spring, like I said, to piggyback off of what I said earlier, that Spring Fest we did out here in Hunlock Creek was awesome. We had Greenlee's Barbecue was a festival. If you're familiar with that, up in Tunkhannock.
Yeah, hell yeah.
We did that festival. Lance Thomas always does the Let the Music Play festival. That was awesome. We had another festival at Buttonhead Farms, which went great. Chris Shrive was there.
That's the road my mom lives on.
Okay.
That's
my mom
right.
lives on that road.
You're right down the road.
Yeah.
Right down the street.
Yep.
That's where we're doing the Toadies.
Okay.
That's
and then
where
the hill you come down, like it's called Paul Road. The hill, like you off Main Road, take a left down that hill.
Okay. I live at the end of Swamp Road.
Okay. Yeah, my brothers both live on, like, instead of going right on the Nimchick Road where Button.
Yeah.
They live like a little bit past that road down the.
Okay.
Yeah.
You never realize how country it sounds until you say, I live at the end of Swamp Road.
Swamp Road, yep.
Yeah.
Sorry, I cut you off there, but yeah.
Yeah. I think the coolest thing too is just getting to play with all the country musicians in the area. And not even just country, but there's other rock musicians that'll jump in and play with us as well. But, we have such a cool community in country between, like we mentioned Chris Schraff and Flatland Ruckus. We mentioned, we got Boots and Bangs, all of them. Ben plays with us. Ben plays with everybody. And Ben's one of the best bass players you could ever ask for. He just fits the groove. Tommy Gunn's band, you got, Shane Fabiani, who was lead singer of Tommy Gunn's after Tommy stepped down, and now he's doing the solo thing. But we've got obviously our favorite buddy, Mr. Kyle Demko.
Of course.
And him and Anthony playing together is super cool.
Yeah, back together, back
I'm
out
so
of the
glad
dust.
those boys made up.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that was the mountaintop feud for a while. They finally
they put it back together. I heard him at Bruise Brothers a couple weeks ago, and it was just tight, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah,
we love those
an
guys.
awesome guitar player.
Yeah, Kyle's such a good kid. And Anthony's a good kid too. And I remember maybe it was last year at the Steamtown Awards when I ran into Anthony, and he said, he's like, hey, I'm talking to me and Kyle are talking again. I'm like, dude, that's fucking great.
It's like awesome. It's like an ex-girlfriend that you liked, and you're the dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should talk to her.
It's great that they're back together, man. I'm super pumped.
Is Anthony still with the Taxmen? Do you know?
No, he just left.
Oh.
I don't know what happened there either. It was kind of like inconspicuous to a degree.
Okay.
I would say my favorite phrase: "Not my pig, not my farm. It's not my place to know."
Right. Not my circus, not my monkeys.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or clowns, or whatever you want to say. Yeah. I'm always curious. I really am. I'm always curious. Like, and I'm not one to go spread the gossip, but I like to hear it. I like to know what's going on. I'm very trustworthy. So anyone who wants to talk about their shit.
Yep. I'll come vent to you about Marcus.
Yeah.
You Marcus ever any just come talk to me. We'll work through it.
You wouldn't be able to fit in a podcast.
The Popko Podcast. God damn it.
That's right.
God damn it.
We've been, like I said, with talking about that kind of stuff. Like, we've been fortunate that we've had our same core group of members, like I said, for almost 5-6 years now.
Yeah.
So, and just
never.
Awesome
I can honestly say we've never had a single disagreement or an argument either as a group. Maybe some things outside of music, or little things.
We need to change this. We need to change this because I hear this a lot. Yeah, we got together and the fucking music just kind of came together. It just came out. We don't even fucking practice. We get on stage or we're rocking and rolling. You guys are never gonna be on a fucking movie, like Rock Star or the fuck is going on here? You guys are all like, this is hippie shit.
There has been like the only issues we have has been with me. I could say honestly, where there's been a couple.
I'm like a dad where I say, I'm like a dad where I say I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed.
There's been a couple times where I can, especially the only place that it's acceptable is Morgan Hills. Like I could fall over and like smash a guitar and like it's okay there. Anywhere else, so I try to keep it under realms, but has been a couple moments. Greenlee's Barbecue, I had to make it like a formal apology. Looking back on that, and I did learn from that.
You gotta make the mistakes.
That did not go over well.
Learning moments,
Yeah. And everybody was understanding. There was other factors, and that involved in that. And, but it was one of those where I didn't text Marcus this big long thing. I just said, "Call me tomorrow." That's all it was.
You get that? We need to talk.
Yeah.
Like, fuck.
Yeah. Give me an anxiety attack.
Yeah, we need to talk. No one needs to talk.
It was Monday when he called me. But no, like I said, everything is good. Like I said, as far as band goes, like you said, it's like hippie stuff. Like we just have the coolest band wherever. No, it's the truth though. Like where we literally we're there to play music.
We don't have a set list or anything.
Yeah. Yeah, you just kind of feel the crowd and just kind of shout out whatever you want the next song to be.
Yeah. It's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. We're wrapping up 2022. Let's look ahead to 2023. What's in store for you guys?
Yeah, I think we're looking forward to a lot of like the carnival shows are super fun, the county fairs and that kind of stuff. Marcus, you got your buddy from Texas coming up, right?
Yeah, I got my buddy Trent Walker from Fort Worth, Texas coming up in February. I've been doing this for, I'd say the last 2 years now, where I'd go out and I'll play somewhere. Like last year I played at Floribama. I don't know, Popko, if you're familiar with that. The Floribama, it's like this little bar town on the Alabama-Florida line.
Yeah, I'm guilty of watching. I watched Jersey Shore, and then they had a spinoff called Floribama Shore.
Okay.
Same place.
Yeah. So that's
So I don't like to admit that. So I like drama. As long as it's not my own. So I like that stuff. Those shows,
I'm with you there.
those shows like feed the need for that. So go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So I went down there and played for a week, and I met my buddy Willie Treywick. He's from Alabama. He was playing out there. I got up and played with him, and he's like, "Yo, man, you're playing with me tomorrow night at the Wharf." I said, "All right, sounds good." So I played with him, and I'm like, "Yo, come up to Pennsylvania sometime, and we'll do like a week. Like, just drive up, and we'll play Tuesday to Sunday." And so he's came up probably 6 times now, and then I went back down there to when I was recording, and I met his buddy Jared Hill, and actually just 2 weeks ago he was up, which he's incredible. Jared Hill, his songwriting.
Got a story in his voice.
Well, he just did a cover of your song. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. His voice is incredible. He does what is it, Black? He does
Pearl Jam Black.
Pearl Jam, yeah. Eddie Vedder. He sounds like the country Eddie Vedder. It's unbelievable. His voice is incredible.
Does he have music available out there or no?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Both him and Willie. Yeah.
Because I saw that cover of yours, and what you're saying, the voice and all that kind of, I'm like, this guy sounds like something I would like.
Yeah. He just recently took his music down like last week, but it's on all platforms. He took it down because he's remastering all the stuff that he did before, and he has, I guess, 2 more albums that he's putting out. But yeah, Sweet. Spotify, iTunes, wherever you get music.
Sweet.
YouTube, he has stuff, and he's phenomenal. But yeah, so Trent's coming up in February, and we'll be playing at Flaherty's over in Kingston.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
We'll be at Morgan Hills, ID Bar, Stone Creek, RC's down in Benton.
I think Wheels too, right? Up in Mountaintop.
Yeah, Wheels on this Sunday. So yeah, that's cool to do. That's cool to get artists from outside from other states, and I'm going to continue to do that as long as I can. Meet other people, bring them up. They just stay at my house in the spare bedroom. We just play for a week. Jared was rough to. That's a rough week with Jared. Jared.
It's a good time, man. He's a good dude.
Jared is nocturnal.
Okay.
So when I'm waking and I work, I got to be up at 5 o'clock to go to work, and he's going to bed at 5.
Yeah.
So yeah, you have to be prepared for that week. That was a rough one to get through.
Yeah. I think the coolest thing, I was gonna say, I think the coolest thing too about like when he brings these people up is how receptive everybody from NEPA is.
Yeah.
Like they love just getting to hear, somebody talk with their, Southern accent, but they love getting to hear these dudes play music, and play their originals, and they're super receptive to them, which is cool.
I feel like more people need to know about these because that sounds like a lot of fun. And I feel like you guys, like the vibe you guys have, is just kind of like, yeah, we'll fucking play tomorrow if you ask us to, or whatever. Like, let's fucking go.
Yeah.
Most of the time, bar owner come up. Most of the time, bar owner comes up. You want to play for another hour? Yeah, sure, we'll play.
Yeah, that's
money.
That's usually how we do it.
Beer.
Yeah.
Wings
absolutely.
are expensive. Put down 12 wings. We'll talk.
That covers the tab. There you go.
Yeah. Shit.
Yeah, we'll have to let you know if we're ever doing like one of those Sunday songwriters.
Dude, I'll give you my number. Text me. Fucking message me on social media. I don't care. Like, just keep asking me, or just at least let me know, because there's just I'm trying to stay on top of everything. I try to. I can't keep it on everything. So it's just like, you just gotta tell me. Hit me with the head.
Yeah.
Especially Buttonwood Farm or Buttonhead Farms. So my mom lives down there, literally 30 seconds away. My family was not that way. I'm sure my brothers have seen you guys play. They're I don't know if they're regulars at Morgan Hills, but they're frequent.
Are they the same? They Popko last name as well?
Yep. Yeah,
I feel like I would know him if they go to Morgan Hills.
Yeah. Well, my one brother's quiet. He has a bigger beard than I have. He's shorter than I am, and then my youngest brother is a little taller than me. Also beard, but
You have to send me a picture. I'll tell him if I've seen him.
All right. Okay.
I pretty much grew up in there.
Yeah, my one brother's like a terrorist. But my youngest just actually he fell at work. Second story balcony.
Oh wow.
Yeah, hit the concrete. Just talking to me earlier. That was the 17th of December, just a few weeks ago. And I was like he broke his wrist. And we thought that was all it was. I think he's having some issues since the accident. So I was surprised
for you.
Yeah, thank you. I was surprised that that's another reason I was late tonight. I was talking to his wife, but I the fact that he got away with just a broken arm, I was like, you were fucking lucky to be alive. Like you could have smashed your head and you'd be dead. And they thought he was dead.
No, absolutely.
He didn't move for 45 seconds, which probably felt like an hour.
Wow.
But
yeah.
Anyways, I don't want to bring it down, but yeah, I'm sure my brothers maybe have seen you, but yeah, tell me when you're playing out there. Tell me, I live in Duryea, so if you want to if you're out this way.
Yeah. Well, how about you get us set something up at one of your favorite places, and me and Mike will come up with something.
One of my favorite places.
Well, that'd be the V. He missed that whole conversation.
Oh yeah, we were talking about the V spot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't played there with the full band, but I opened up for Tommy Guns there.
That's what he said. Yeah. But even Bruce. Bruce isn't that far from me.
Yeah, come down to Bruce.
That's a good
Bruce
time.
is always a good time.
Yeah, we just played Christmas there. I ended up playing because Marcus had to work. But man, that crowd there was one of the best. And I told Marcus when I got here, and I said, we got to talk to Andy about doing full band for Christmas next year.
Yeah,
maybe we'll do something for Easter.
Yeah.
What about the Jazz Cafe? You ever hit that place up?
I've seen shows there.
Yeah,
I've seen shows there, but I'm glad that they're doing shows earlier.
Yeah,
I was talking to other musicians about it because they used to do the headliner would go on at 1 a.m.
Yeah.
Or, you know what I mean? It was super late, and I'm super glad that they're doing everything starts at 8 now.
Yep.
So that's a super cool spot though.
I think everything pre-COVID was later. We always played 10 to 1.
Yeah.
As a band, and now everything's 8 to 11.
I'm so happy because I'm not getting home at 4 a.m. anymore.
I still get home at 4 a.m.
Well, you're young, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm younger than you, Popko.
Yeah.
We also, my buddy Adam Ross, he has Stamp Creek Outfitters. Me and Mike's buddy. He, if you're familiar with Riley Green, bigger country music singer, newer guy. He coached him in college football. Adam Ross is one of the football coaches at Richmond University.
Okay.
So I was just down there a couple weeks ago, and I played for their football team thing pregame.
Homecoming, right?
Yeah, I think it was homecoming. Yeah. So in a month or two here, we're going back down. I'm doing a national anthem and playing another one for the basketball team at Richmond. They have they're a big basketball school at Richmond.
Steph Curry, wasn't it? Or I'm thinking of somebody else, but there's a big name player that was a Richmond Spider.
Yeah, they're a big D1. They're a big basketball school. Huge, beautiful arena, or would it be a stadium?
Coliseum.
Would it be a stadium? Would it be a stadium? A basketball
arena, I think.
Arena, yeah.
Arena.
Yeah, I think it's arena.
So that'll be cool. We're trying to get Mike. Mike missed the last one, couldn't make it to the football one, but Ross, that Stamp Creek stuff is awesome. That Outfitters, it's
awesome clothing company.
It's a clothing line.
What's it called?
Awesome guy. Stamp Creek. Yeah, awesome guy, awesome company.
Mm-hmm. It's a good guy to bounce songs off of.
You ever cross paths with Nate Hosey?
Nate Hosey, I met him at the Wyoming County Fair last year, but I've never.
He's got some. He's one of the best guys I've ever met. Just super down to earth. Loves his country. Loves his family.
Great turkey hunter.
Yeah, great turkey hunter, and great songs too. I mean,
yeah.
I'd put you guys in the same bill. I mean, that would be a fucking killer show. I mean,
that'd be cool.
He's got some great songs if you want to check him out. It's the songs much like yours. Like, you just want to kind of hang out and chill, and his is very like, campfire, like with your best buds and fucking drink some beers, and I love that
vibe. That's the vibe.
That's the vibe.
Shotgun a Bud Light.
I'm not a good shotgunner.
We'll teach you.
I got iced on my 40th birthday, and I chugged it. It was bad. It was slow, but I did it.
Got it. Yeah.
Was it Demko? Did Demko put you up to that?
No, but it was at Bruce Brothers. Demko actually played at the party.
Yeah.
Demko will bring you like a Vegas bomb or a Jaeger bomb or some kind of.
He was funny. The party was over. I'm like trying to find him so I could pay him, and he's like, "Dude, I'm out in my car. I threw up. I got overheated." I'm like, "Dude, do you have COVID? You were just singing to my entire family and friends."
He's wild. He's one of the best. He's probably one of the best supporters of music and one of the greatest in the area to come through and push.
I was just saying the Santa Drive, the Toys for Tots, man. And I was bummed. I told him, I said, he's got to move the date because the last 2 years I've been in Delaware.
I was away. I was in Fort Worth when he did that too.
And I was like, Kyle, you got to move it to another weekend because I'm traditionally in Delaware that weekend.
Right.
But that's a super. I mean, you want to talk about like one of the coolest things that you could put together.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool.
This valley and the people in it are some of the best. They say the valley with a heart, and that's the truth.
I think it's cool, Popko, going to other places. The past year or two that I've been like outside of the state playing places, and then those people that do come up here, or when I go down there, you can see a difference in how you can really learn to appreciate the music scene in this area a lot more. And people that come up here, they see it too. This is crazy on a Tuesday or Wednesday night. You have people coming out and supporting live music in this area in particular, for sure.
And it used to be better than it is now. I mean, believe it or not, I mean, it's still good. I always say I would put this area up against any other city as far as the talent that goes around, whether it's country, pop, punk, heavy metal, like everything. It's a whole indie
blues.
It's awesome.
Yeah,
I love it. Hell yeah.
It's funny. Like I said, you listen to a guy like you would look at a guy like Stingray, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you just see this guy sitting in the bar, and you're like, all right, what are we going to get here? And then this dude starts playing. You're like, that guy needed to be in the blues scene in the 70s. Like he is unbelievable, And then guitar players, like going back to it, like guitar players like Dustin and all those guys. There's so much talent. It's unbelievable. Yeah. And the following and support, like you said, we've been fortunate in the country scene that there's such a huge following for country now. Country is one of the biggest things out there, and so we've been very fortunate. Absolutely, yeah. And we've been fortunate that we'll play shows, and like Morgan Hills, I think they'll do like whatever it is. I don't want to say a number, but let's say it's 250 people at the door, and it's sold out by the time that we start playing. So,
Well, Marcus, when you're around in Texas, if you're in Austin, I need you to find my boy Joe Rogan and tell him about me.
Yeah. Yeah, if I see him, Popko, I'll let him know.
You
Yeah,
tell
I
him.
love Joe. I love Joe Rogan.
He's the man. He's the man.
I just love the vibe. It's just real conversation. Talk about whatever.
Yeah,
Even
just
though
like this.
even
that's why
Neil,
I started.
even though Neil Young tried to get rid of him.
A couple did, yeah.
Yeah,
I think he's cancel proof. It's weird.
yeah. Well, the simple man don't need him around anyhow. That's what Skinner said of Neil Young.
I don't know, man. It's I don't understand the whole thing. I mean, I think I think he has guests on that share both sides. Like, and when did we lose that? When did we? Oh, I'll tell you when. Because everyone who's fucking right is far right, and everyone who's left is far left.
Yeah.
There's no fucking.
I'll listen to anyone's idea or opinion.
Why would
I'll know what I'll want to. Anyone wants to believe what they believe, but you have to be open to someone else's. You have to understand. Like Popko, if you felt a different way about anything, I wouldn't think different about you.
Yeah.
We have to be, and I think people lost sight of that on the ground they stand on. That you're allowed to have other opinions and still get along, and that's where it
sucks.
Not.
And there's an ability to learn from conversation itself.
Right? Yes.
There's an ability to learn, like you said, if I don't agree with something you're saying, you can tell me something. And right now there's people that it'll go in one ear out the other. But the beauty of listening to somebody and having a conversation with people is that you can pick up something from what they're saying.
Yeah. So,
and like we said, it may not be a way that I feel about something, but okay, there's other people out there that feel a certain way, which is good for them. So,
and can you imagine if we all thought the same fucking thing? Like,
it's unbelievable.
What the fuck?
Well, even if you disagree, sometimes it's you don't have to.
It's okay. You don't have to.
You get defensive. You don't have to. You don't have to take that route.
I don't get it, man. It's
weird.
I think it's a lot to do with technology, social media, because
I think it's 100% for sure.
Well, I also say too, to kind of go with your point where you say like where everybody's either far right or far left. What you actually find is like you have the loudest people are out here, and then you, me, and everybody else, the 95% are all in the middle, and we're all just living our lives the way that we should be, which is listen to other people. Other people have feet. How do I put it? Everybody has their own opinions, beliefs, ideas, and whatnot. We're like, I'm a firm believer in live and let live.
Right.
I live my life. You live your life. We have a good time.
If you're not hurting anybody.
Exactly. Yeah. So, but yeah, that's the weird world.
That's a whole other conversation that we don't have time for. I don't want to get canceled either. So.
No.
Yeah, you don't want to get canceled, Popko.
That's how you boost the ratings.
Well, I always said you got to be somebody to get canceled, and
yeah, nobody boos somebody that's nobody.
Exactly. So no one's gonna cancel me. I'm a nobody. But well, guys, I mean, best of luck in 2023. I hope that I can get out to a show, or many for that matter.
We'll have Demko come pick you up.
Tell him to tell me. Just again, please, like I said, just tell me about everything you're doing. I'll try and keep tabs. I'll hit the follow button, or I get notified of your posts and shit like that too, just so I can keep tabs on what you're doing and what's going on. I just realized that tomorrow is recycling for cardboard.
You got a lot of boxes to break down. Huh?
I have so much fucking cardboard in my garage right now. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like dreading it right now.
We don't have recycling in Hemlock Creek.
No, you don't.
We have fire pits.
Yeah, you have that, but recycling's a scam too.
Yeah, no doubt.
It's a scam.
Yeah, I'm not aware of it. I've never heard of it before, but I understand plastic and stuff.
Only 5% gets recycled.
Save the turtles. I've heard.
Yeah. Popko, this is my random thought that popped in my head. Did you go see Jason Isbell at the Kirby a couple years ago?
I did.
When it was just him and Sally Baden? Okay.
Yeah, I cried.
I sat a row behind you.
No way.
Yeah. I'll send you the video. I'm pretty sure you're in it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're in it. It was me
That's
and
amazing.
Dylan. It was me
It
and
might have
Dylan
been his
Dixon.
terrorist brother. That
Yeah,
it was me and
from the
my
back.
wife and
yeah. You sat in the upper deck, right?
yeah.
Yeah, I was definitely a row behind you.
God damn it!
It just popped. This just popped in my head.
There you go. I actually cried that night.
It was an unbelievable show.
Yeah, and I love that. I fucking hate it. Like
Elephant.
Dude,
dude.
You know the story I'm about to tell you when he was like, somebody yelled out like, "If we were vampires," and he plays it right, and that's one of my favorite songs from Isabel. And then he goes, somebody else yells, "Elephant," and he goes, "This is the most depressed group of people I've ever listened to."
Yeah. if that song doesn't fucking choke you up, you're not a fucking human being.
Yeah.
Both those songs, man. Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah, and I was so mad because they booked him maybe like
5 months ago?
A few years before that. No, before that.
Okay. Yeah.
That show we're talking about. And wasn't on my radar. I think he played at like 200 people in the Kirby.
Mm-hmm.
No one there. And I was like, and I found out about him after the fact. I'm like, God damn. But
yeah. You want to hear? So real quick, I know we got to go.
We don't have to go.
So cool story. Speaking of artists playing for nobody, this is before I knew Marcus. So Froggy 101 used to do singer-songwriter nights. Okay. So the first year was Eric Pasley, and basically what it was you would submit a song to Froggy 101 to a local radio station, and they would pick 5 people, and then you would sit down and you would meet up with this singer-songwriter. So the first year was Eric Pasley, and he had written some big songs, but once again, nobody knew who he was. The second year is a guy by the name of Chris Stapleton. Okay. Right as he was leaving the Steel Drivers. So nobody knew who this dude was. But nobody knew that he had written probably, 90% of what was on the radio at that point.
Right.
But he's got one of the most unbelievable voices and whatnot. So show up to Bruise Brothers, and they do this conference upstairs in Furia. And then downstairs, it was going to be a free concert, right? So Froggy One was promoting it for weeks and weeks and weeks. And dude, there's literally 9 people in Bruise Brothers. Chris Stapleton played for 9 people, unplugged, like no speaker. I remember Crockett going like, "Do you want me to do a sound check and plug you in and get an EQ and whatnot?" And Stapleton just goes, "He's like, I'll just play it acoustic." Best 45 minutes of music I'll ever listen to in my life. Right below that is that Isbell concert. And so it's funny, man. Like when you go see somebody and there's nobody there, and then now Chris Stapleton, multiple like CMA award winner, like artist of the year, all the stuff. It's cool to see big artists before they've been big. And God, that sounds so hipster to me.
No, there's that saying where like Chris Stapleton was at one point playing in a local bar.
Nobody.
Yeah, Eric Church was at the Woodlands.
They were all like the local,
Yeah, I mean,
local musician.
It was funny too. Like even like Luke Combs, like me and some friends on Monday went out to like the Union County West End Fair out by State College, right? And there it was $2 to get into the fair. That was your admission to get into the concert, and there was like maybe 400 or 500 people there, right? Then a year later, he plays at the Sands, and there's like maybe 3,000 people at this show. And then a year later, you go see him in Hershey, and there's 15,000 people in Hershey. Yeah. So like it's cool to see the evolution of like, the way these artists have gone about it and how their crowds have grown, and it's also motivation for somebody like Marcus or myself.
Yeah, there's something I always say. I mean, Breaking Benjamin. Ben used to play at the Voodoo Lounge in Luzerne. He used to stop by
Hops and Barley.
This is even before then. This is like this is probably 01, early 2000s, before like their Polyamorous came out
on the X Games.
But yeah, he'd pop into River Street Ale House down past Bruise and do some open mic shit. But one thing I've like been kind of preaching, and not only have I been preaching, but also people have kind of been like saying it before me during some of these podcasts, is like it only takes one. Like it only takes one person to like the right person to hear what you're doing or share what you're doing or whatever it is. Like it only takes one, and you never know where it is.
Yeah, that's ahead, Marcus.
No, I agree absolutely.
That's where I'll end it.
That's it. Just cut it. One. Don't even say bye.
Just takes one.
Popko, appreciate you, man.
Same. I'm
thank you.
Thank
you so much, Popko.
Yeah. I want you to send me that video though.
Absolutely.
I will. I will.
I gotta go through. Funny.
Yeah. I remember thinking it. I remember just like sitting here, it just popped in my head, and I was like, wait a minute, I'm pretty sure he sat in front of me at the Isbell show, man.
Yeah, because I think to the right of me was a taller friend of mine. We call him Jibbo. Mm-hmm. His name is John, and there was so many Johns in our group of friends. We called him Jibbo because it stood for Jibbo, or John is a tall one. No, I'm sorry, not tall one. John is a big one. Jibbo, Jibbo.
Okay, all makes sense now.
Yeah, but
I'll send you that. Yeah,
that's interesting. That's so funny. It's small world, man. This NEPA is special.
Very
special.
Absolutely, man.
But I wish you guys nothing but the best in 2023. I hope we can
you as well, brother.
Cross paths and shake hands and give hugs and share some beers and just some good times together.
No doubt, brother.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, best of luck with everything, and I'm here however I can help you guys.
Thank you, brother.
Appreciate you. Thanks, Popko.
Appreciate it, man.
Thanks, guys.
Have a good night.
We'll see you.